I would classify this as nature-y, wouldn't you? What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? My name is Sean. People on the internet call me Spumwack. Today we're going to be messing around with the Witchery mod. The author of the Witchery mod has been frustratingly tight-lipped about the properties of the altar. That's what we're going to be playing with today. I don't know. No, you can see a little bit. See a little green stuff floating in every once in a while to the altar. If you didn't know, the altar gathers energy from its surroundings based on how, quote-unquote, nature-y the area is. Which has always bothered me. I've looked up tutorials and other stuff on the internet, looked up websites and forums of people asking, what exactly are the requirements for the altar to draw power from something? Because it's frustrating. It just says, you know, put it in a nature-y area. But there's problems with that. I mean, I would classify this as nature-y, wouldn't you? There's a whole wide field, there's a tree right there, there's flowers everywhere, there's grass everywhere, but our power is only 106. So first we're going to take this altar and grab it out of our item collector, all 6 pieces right there, and head over to the surface, just right through this portal, and remember our number was 906. We'll find another spot right down here, which is arguably less nature-y. In my mind, this is way less nature-y. We'll find a spot to put this thing and look at the numbers. 1, 2, 3, 4, oh my god, 5, 6, and look at that, 1,862. Maybe, you know, equal parts nature-y, not nature-y. I don't know, it's just, the thing is, no one quantifies it at all. And I think that's really lame. So I went ahead and I did my best to quantify exactly what requires power, or what an altar can actually draw its power from. And I'm gonna go ahead and lay that over the screen right now. Now, these numbers that you're looking at right now are just vanilla and witchery, because some mods work with witchery for drawing power to the altar and some don't. For example, items from Biomes of Plenty don't draw power, but items from Twilight Forest do. So for the purpose of just this video, we're only going to be talking about vanilla Minecraft and witchery, because those are the only 2 consistent variables that are going to be there anytime someone is playing the witchery mod. So, you know, just putting it in nature is not a bad way to go, assuming you don't need all that much power. Plus with the multipliers, you probably have more than you need just by placing an altar right there. I really don't think you'll be pushing the upper limits of your power by placing a nice spot in nature. But because I'm sort of crazy and I quantified that, I would like to find what would be, I hope, the perfectly ideal setup for having as much power in one altar as you can. Now, unfortunately, I'm going to be limited by my supplies. There are certain items in witchery that I haven't gotten through quite yet, so I'm not going to hit the maximum power, but I'm going to leave space for it for leaving space for the theoretical maximum power. So first, what I want to do is find a nice spot in the air, and we're going to throw down just a bunch of solids, because we're going to be setting up the basic frame of this thing. If you didn't know, altars have a range. The wiki says it has a range of 14 to 16 blocks, and that's just because the person who wrote it, again, is, I believe, just trying to be super vague, or the person who tested it just didn't test it very well. But what they don't tell you is that it is 15 blocks out from the center of the altar, from the very last block you place, which is the center. So let me grab my supplies first. This thing is going to be horrendous, by the way. It's going to be very ugly. So we're going to place down our altar blocks, and we'll save this spot to be the center. Let's get rid of that so there's no confusion. So this spot is where the center will be, where that cobblestone is right now, because the altar is a 3x2 multi-block structure, and you'll notice right when I place this altar, this one block will get a red top faster than the others. Now, it's kind of quick, so you have to really watch it, but let me place it and show you. But, well, including lag, it was kind of hard to tell. You didn't really get a chance to see it. It looked like they all turned red at the same time. Let's try it one more time. Hopefully, we can do this without the lag. No, let's just do them one at a time. But basically, in single-player testing, I figured out that this one turned red, which means this is the center, and then it built the rest of the altar block around it. So that tells us that this thing goes out 15 blocks from right here. So we'll say you are the 15th block, so 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then 0. Let's put an oak wood. Now, that oak wood should be out of range, which is how I test by throwing stuff just barely out of range. And an altar has a base power of 80, so it should say 80. Should indeed, and it does indeed say 80. So we're going to go ahead and take the atomic disassembler, put it 1 block closer, and now it should say 82, because vanilla logs have a power of 2. Yep, that is correct. So it's basically a giant cube in every direction around here. It's not spherical, it's cubical. So what I'm going to do is set up a... I should not have done that. We're going to tear this down, we're going to throw the cobble right here, and we are going to build a cube all around this thing, which will indicate the absolute maximum size that this thing can draw power from. So it's 15 blocks up, down, left, right, all the sides, so we're going to do that right now. Now, these 6 pieces of cobblestone around this thing represent the outer limits for each one of its walls. And this enormous well of a structure is representing the maximum distance that our altar can draw power from. Of course, it looks pretty ugly. It's made out of a bunch of cobblestone. I did a whole bunch of stuff right now, gathering all the supplies we need that don't use sunlight. That's basically everything we have right now. A lot of stuff uses sunlight. A lot of crops, and I think that might be it, to be honest. A lot of crops and seeds and stuff, but a lot of things count for power that you wouldn't normally think count for power. For example, dirt itself counts for 1 point. I believe water counts as 1 point, but there is a maximum number, so that's what we're looking out for. We have just enough to hit the maximum number for each one of those things, and we're going to be doing it, we're going to be doing the dark stuff first. We're going to be doing the dark stuff first, which means placing mushrooms, which means we need to be putting something over the mushrooms in order to make it dark. So I'm going to go grab some cobblestone, and I think that should be the last thing I need to get this started. We're going to start by placing our cobble up here, so that it doesn't get in our way. Should be 9 pieces of cobble right there. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That should be plenty to keep it sort of dark in this corner, at least dark enough to place our mushrooms. So if we consult our numbers, we see that we can place 20 brown mushrooms and 20 red mushrooms. Let's put those in order. So I'm just going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 2, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's all 20. That should give us a total of now 60 energy in the altar plus 80, which puts us at 140. Look at that. We do the same thing. We put another 10 of these guys. So let's go 1, 2. Actually, let's go right next to it on this side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's do that 2 more times. And we need to go a little bit further with the cobble over here. And again, well, I don't think I ever mentioned it, but this cobble is temporary because we want to keep this place relatively space efficient. We don't need to be super space efficient. This is now 200, by the way. 200. We don't need to keep this super space efficient because what ends up happening is we have, I think, 20,000 blocks worth of air for which to draw power from, and a maximum of like 2,000 blocks to draw power. So we have plenty of space in here to get everything we need for a maximum power altar. But I would like to just keep it compact as possible because if we do end up having to change anything, I don't want to have to tear down multiple levels of complicated stuff that I've already built before. So now this is built. I forget the exact number this has to be over by, which has to block this off by. So let's test it right here. Let's go back by 1. Will you pop out of the ground? Well, I can't place you. Can I place you? All right. So we need to go over by 2 more, and then that will be the extent of this cobblestone. So 1, 2. So that happens to be the maximum edge for this size mushroom. We can't place 1 right here, right? Yeah. So this one we can place by 1, and that's it. So we want to go in by 1. Let's go in by 1 right there. And I think that's what I wanted. Yeah. So now we should not be able to place a mushroom there. We can, so just kidding. Let's go in by 1 more. Now we can't place a mushroom, so we go in by 1 more on this side. And then we should be good. No, I confused myself earlier. I can't place any over here. Does that mean I can't even... Yeah, okay. So we do need to put 1 piece of cobble right there. And now the mushrooms are finally done. They have the lid on top of them to prevent them from growing. However, in order to keep this even more space efficient, we are going to use grass to block these guys off. And then get rid of the cobblestone. So we know that we can have, let me consult my own notebook here, 80 pieces of grass and 80 pieces of dirt. I don't even think we need that much. Let's count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Let's just go 8 for good measure, and then that will be... Get our wand back out. We gotta tear up the cobblestone also. Forgot you can have nothing directly on top of grass, but that is something we can work around in a minute. So we're gonna tear down all of this cobblestone while we place the dirt, because we want to keep the mushrooms growing, but, yep, now this is going down. That's frustrating. Yep, we have to do this one step at a time. You gotta throw more dirt up. Oh, this is complicated. So basically, we just need to keep an eye out on this thing and build it one step at a time, because we can't have any sunlight coming over, otherwise the mushrooms won't grow. But we can't put anything directly on top of the grass, otherwise the grass will get messed up. So I guess we'll just place all the grass blocks first and then tear the cobblestone down and let the grass regrow. So 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So all of these grass blocks represent the maximum amount of power that we can get from grass once, you know, it finishes growing. It is still, unfortunately, block, block, block. And grass is completely different from dirt. Yeah, that's what I was going to say. It's completely different from dirt, so we need to keep our distance, unfortunately, from grass and dirt. But that's not that difficult to do. So we're going to start a new corner, and our dirt is the exact same thing. So we can go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So that represents the 80 blocks of grass, and the 80 blocks of dirt that we need. So we're going to do the exact same thing with a lot of this other junk. We're going to be using oak. Of course, we need to put oak around the leaves, so we got some spare pieces of oak. And all the witchery and all the vanilla oaks count, or all the vanilla woods count as one thing, and all the witchery woods count as another thing. The leaves can be connected to any of it. So I guess what we're going to be doing then is taking oak with oak leaves, and I think you can go out by 4, so we're going to be going 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4. That's all we need for the oak wood. 1, 2, 3, 4. And now the oak leaves, we're going to go... Can you go in this corner? You can go all the way in that corner. Look at you. So this gets us up to 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27. Can you get placed? 28, 29... 30, 31, well, those should be not existing. I don't know why these exist right now. They shouldn't be allowed, but that's just fine. So we're going to now throw down the maximum number of leaves we have and then see what it looks like. And believe it or not, that is the maximum number of leaves it takes for an altar to fill up. It's not a whole lot. Not a whole lot at all. So next we are going to go ahead and place grass, ferns, whatever. They all count as the same category. We only need 50 of these. So we're going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 48, 49, 50. And then we're going to have the flowers, of which we have a maximum of 30 of each one of these. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 28, 29, 30. And I feel I should mention, for some reason, dandelion is their own flower. But then every other flower falls under this category. So poppies, orange tulips, white tulips, alliums, everything else falls under this flower. It's probably got something to do with sharing block ID. So we got to put the last 30 over here, and I think we have just enough for this. So we'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 28, 29, 30. Look at that. We got a whole block left over. Let's just place another dandelion there just for the heck of it. Just so it looks pretty. Now check out the power in this thing. We're already looking at 1180 power. We really haven't even played around with wood or crops yet. That's going to be a whole nother thing. Each of those are worth ×4, which is actually kind of a lot. So now we're going to switch gears up and go to wood and vine. So first we're going to play with normal oak wood. We're going to place it back here. Remember, we already have 4, so if we max it out, we can put little bars across this thing. It's going to end up going 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Oh, you know, I only have 2 over there, so that's just 7. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and that's 50. We're just going to go ahead and not count these 2. Let's just say, you know, those are there to keep the leaves up, but in all reality, these pieces of wood are 10 layers across, so it's really easy to keep track of how much we have when it goes across by 10 like that. So let's check our altar numbers just to make sure we're on the right track here. So 1,276 is our max. We'll go ahead and place another wood. Let's say oak and rowan, 2 and 3, and it should still be 1276. 1279, so unfortunately I did something wrong. I don't know what. Let's cut down the rowan Let's see if it was that. Is it the oak sapling that makes it 1279? It is the oak sapling that makes it 1279. So apparently we can have more oak saplings, or oak leaves than I thought. Don't have a whole lot to spare, but we can play around with it. I don't know where I did my math wrong. So 1279, and then it should be 1282 should be the next one, right? I hope. Yep, 1282. How odd. So we'll do 82, 85. Make sure we do our math, and then we'll start trying to count this fairly easily. So from 85, we can put 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This will be 0, 0. Indeed it is, so 1300. Now, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now it should be 1330. Apparently you can place a lot more leaves than I thought. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1360. Ooh, this is fancy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Should be 1390. And I guess I'll just keep going back and forth until I hit the upper limit. And it looks like I just barely made it. I don't have a whole lot of oak leaves left. I'm cutting them down now one at a time. So 1426 is our max with all the leaves. Still 1426. Let's cut it down again. Now it should be 1423. Okay. So, just to double check here, let's place 2. We should only gain the 3. Yeah, so that's the maximum number of leaves. I don't know what happened there. I thought I had the right calculations on my leaves, but apparently I didn't. So anyways, that's maximum leaves. What I wanted to show you now is we can't place anything more. 1428. Well, why would you be 1428? Oh, I bet you one of those grass blocks grew. That's where the 2 comes in. So 1428. Now, we should have all maximum 50 logs, so it shouldn't go any higher than 1428, right? There's no 1432 to be had here. No, there is not. So that's how we know we're on track with the logs. And we'll go ahead and start with the 100 witchery logs that we have to place. We're looking at 1730. If we tear down one piece of log, our number stays at 1730. That was a spare. If we tear down this one, it should go down. I forget to either 26 or 27. 27, there we go. So that's how we know we have the exact number of hawthorn wood. And now we just need to cut to the vines, and then we're going to have to start doing the crops after this, which honestly I'm really not looking forward to because it's sort of a pain. So we check our numbers on vines and Spanish moss. Spanish moss is 20 maximum blocks, and vines are 50 maximum blocks. Ooh, fancy. So I'm going to place this one at a time. They could grow, but I want to make sure I have at least as much as I need because, you know, once again, space shouldn't be an issue here. This is already pretty freaking space efficient. So we need 20 of these things. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. That's all it takes. Same thing on the vines, except we need 50 of these bad boys. So 1, 2, 3, 46, 47, 48, 49, and 50 of our vines. Now, if I did everything correctly, nothing in my inventory now should add any more to this altar's power. What are these numbers we're looking at? 1,890. Not bad. Not bad at all. Now, unfortunately, it's time to start setting up crops and stuff, which is going to be just a pain in the noggin. Alright, so I'm sorry for the jarring transition. I don't remember where I just left off at, but I went on for a while, and I found out that I built this entire thing too high. I don't know why. Apparently this is the top block, which is only like 14 blocks above the top of the altar, which is really weird. The math doesn't really work out in my brain, but that's where the new top is, so this whole thing has to be pushed down. So I'm just going to describe this and then rebuild it in a second. Basically, we've got 2 rows of 10. We've got potatoes and potatoes, because the maximum potatoes you can have is 20. Same thing here. Carrots and carrots, because the max carrots you can have is 20. We have water, 10 of them, and actually the maximum water you can have is 50. So 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. All the water works out. Same thing over here. We've got normal vanilla wheat seeds. It's fine. Belladonna, snowbell, mandrake. All these have 20. After here, we got to have 2 rows because I want to have melons and pumpkins, and I want them to be all growing on the exact same side. So we're going to have 10 melons and 10 melons for 20 melons total. Same thing here, 10 pumpkins and 10 pumpkins for 10 pumpkins total. And over here, we are going to have the glintweed and the ember moss. We are missing out on things like the critter snare, the blood poppy, the wispy cotton, and the grasper. So we've got room for those because I just haven't gotten far enough in Witchery to get them yet. But then once that's done, this will actually be every possible block we can put in vanilla and Witchery together. There we go. It's been rebuilt one lower. I don't know exactly what I did differently. Something to do with the pumpkin and melon water things. But now, everything we need, minus those 4 witchery components that are Critter Snare, Grasper, Wispy Cotton, and Blood Poppy, which, to be honest, they're really not worth that much magic. I think a total is 20, 60 is 80, 100 is really only 120. 120 is what those 4 combined to make. The other 2,708 energy we have in this altar, which actually doesn't sound right, because it should totally be an even number. Oh, but, you know, I forgot we have these little bits, so it should be even once we get everything fully planted. So we'll have to come back and do the mandrake and the pumpkin and the melon, as well as the other witchery components at a later point in time. Probably gonna do them in between episodes. But can you believe this is all it takes? I mean, this thing's about done. There's a ton of excess space, which I sort of anticipated ahead of time, like I said, with that 25,000 versus 2,000 comment. So if you really wanted to compact this thing, you could. I just wanted to put all this cobblestone to visualize exactly how much space we need. And I wanted to put everything that didn't need light at the bottom, and I wanted to put everything that did need light up at the top. And this is what we have. This is our mostly completed witchery thing. I may even come back and add some Twilight Forest stuff just for my own build. I just wanted to do this particular video to really hope other people trying to make a maximum efficiency altar knew exactly what they had to build. And this is it. And that's it. So that about covers the witchery stuff. I just want to remind everyone, if you did want to have a statue on the cruise ship, the end of September is coming. Really soon, so go ahead and get your whopping $1 Patreon donation if that's the type of thing you might be interested in. And I think we will end it there. I forgot to mention, a couple episodes ago, we got actually the Hermitcraft Twitter account running, so if you want to follow that, you can. And for those of you who don't know, I think I saw a comment in the last episode wondering if people can download this yet, and I don't think I ever made an official announcement. But yeah, you can play this. There's a download link in the description if you want to jump on and start playing Mod Sauce. So that covers everything, guys. I hope you learned a little something, and I will talk to you next time. Hopefully we'll start getting these statues around this thing and making this cruise ship look a lot prettier.